Hello, in this week's episode of Multiple Shenanigans, we are doing Hawaiian Hair. Aloha.
Aloha.
We'll be covering chickens on the beach
What you do on a rest day.
and why it's so hard to rest. Hello and welcome to Multiple Shenanigans. This is our Hawaiian Hair episode.
I'm Lytisha.
I'm Jeanette.
So Jeanette, how's your week then?
My week, done like little writing projects, sent a few things off to little competitions, so I look forward to hearing about how good everybody else was in an email in the future. One of those, the standard was very high. You are not of that standard. So,
Got to be in it to win it.
Exactly.
Learning curve.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah, and you just feel a bit better about yourself for having done a thing.
Yeah.
We've been watching quite a lot of 70s American comedy films.
Okay.
That's been quite nice.
With big cars.
Big cars, often in San Francisco or New York.
Quite a lot of Hawaiian shirtage going on
Yeah,
there.
so this feels very in keeping. Can't remember any of the names of the films. One had Dead Famous Lady, Barbra Streisand in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it felt like a very comforting thing to do right now. Yeah. Have I done anything else that's actually a thing? No. You've been very busy though, haven't you?
I've done that doing too much, overdoing it, crushing thing. Yes. Yeah, I've done a lot. I hosted my first in real life event in the last week.
How did it feel to be around the living?
Well, it was really bizarre because it's the most number of people I've been in an enclosed space with when it's not the supermarket. But because it was my event and I was running and hosting it, it didn't feel so bad. But also we kept the numbers really, really low. It was a hall with a capacity of something like 80 and we had a maximum of, well, we had 27 people. So, and they were all spread out at tables to keep socially distanced from each other and well back from the stage area. A bit of floor with the tape on it, which was the stage. So yeah.
Oh.
But then it was performing to real people.
It's super weird.
In the same room. That was exciting. But then that would be far too simple to just do that after 19 months of not doing anything, wouldn't it? Obviously. So obviously I super complicated it by making it a hybrid event. So I had some people on Zoom. So they zoomed in as audience, and also we had a zoomed in participant. So the audience could watch the participant on Zoom, and the Zoom people could watch the stage people performing live. Very exciting. Yeah, it was a bit like that. My friend Keith helped out with a lot of the visuals, visual mixing and things. And there was, the planning. You should have seen me doing my planning meetings when I was on my own. I was just trying to get my head around. So you talk to you, you talk to you, you talk to you. So, okay. So on the phone, I had, I can show you. Operating the mobile phone on Zoom, we had Owl. And working the iPad, we had Donkey. Because I was on the laptop, obviously.
I'm confused. What did they do?
This was just for my rehearsals. Purely So basically, Al was sat in front. We'll have to use Donkey because the other one's plugged in. So Donkey was sat in front of, this one's plugged in as well, the iPad, looking at the iPad, so I could work out that Donkey was the audience at home.
Oh, I get you. Yes.
And he could see this and this. And then we had Owl, who was on looking at the mobile phone. So he was in real life audience and I was controller on the Zoom panel on the computer to get my head around who could see what and when and who I would spotlight and how I would spotlight, and which I can do for a normal Zoom event. And it was no different to a normal Zoom event, except that one of the people, Donkey, Donkey was at home, and when he was on Spotlight, he was talking to everybody in the room. And then when Donkey was just an audience member, we were spotlighting performer so that they could both watch.
I'm roughly there.
And then what I planned to do, so this is the bit that confused my head, was I wanted people at home to see audience in the room while other person was performing as well. Anyway, it worked. My glamorous assistants worked.
Why would you do this to your brain?
Because those unwise decisions that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
And then, don't overdo it, and things that are bad for you are bad for you. All of those things rolled into one.
We learned absolutely nothing from doing this.
I learned a lot from doing the things that I was doing too much of.
No, you didn't. You're going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again. But it'll be easier next time because at least Al knows what to do, even if Donkey's not quite sure. In the same week, I've got an award from the Arts Council to develop your creative practice, which is to work on how you're doing your thing.
Nice.
So the idea is I do fewer of the everyday things that I keep doing and learn how to do the specific thing I want to do more effectively. One of the things I had was my first mentoring meeting, which was about focusing. So I did that whilst running a couple of workshops, a hybrid in-life event, all the things I normally do, running a real life event, running a real life workshop, running a Zoom workshop, and house hunting. So I found a house I really liked, put an offer in, didn't get it, went all like, and because I thought, oh, okay, this bit's done. I don't have to do house hunting anymore. I mean, there's all the moving and stuff, but but then no, that didn't work.
Damn.
So anyway,
that's because a better one's on the horizon.
That's right. And I have, instead of frantically looking everywhere because I couldn't decide where I wanted to live within the Nottingham area, I have pinpointed it to one key area and two possible little ones. But I've stopped looking at all of the others because focused. I've done one of my focusing. Not actually on the things I'm supposed to be focusing on.
You focused on the other things that weren't part of your focus.
Yeah.
Well done.
Focusing on one thing is a step forward though, isn't it? Yeah.
Especially for an MS brain.
Yeah. So I will listen. I have written in my diary, do not do anything on at least one day for next week. And then on another day, just to make it different, I've written rest.
Oh.
Because they're not the same, I might read them and do them. Maybe.
Yeah. So how do you define don't do anything and rest?
Monday, I had to just cancel whatever was in my diary. There wasn't much in my diary, but I had to just not to do. And for me, a not to do day was I went and got my breakfast and I went back to bed and I had a book. I stayed in bed. I didn't take my laptop with me. I didn't do anything except I had a book. And I thought, I'm just going to read the book or be asleep or play with the cat because she thought it was playtime, obviously. So yeah, that's what I did. But it was a really good book. Quite a thriller, so I got really into it. But when I went downstairs for change of scenery. I took my cushions out into the garden, and I sat on my garden swing. I really love it. It's a garden swing. I've had it for 14 years now, and it is slightly not as pretty as it used to be, but it's green and it's technically a 4-seater, which makes it perfectly long enough for me to sprawl on it.
Oh, nice.
And my friend B, thank you B, she made me this canopy because the original one just sort of disintegrated. And it's beautiful. She made it perfectly. It absolutely fits, and it's really fabulous. And I've had that for a good 10 years on it. But I take it in when the weather's windy or horrendous weather, so it goes out for the summer. So I'd taken it in because I don't know about everywhere else, but Nottingham has had really hot days and torrential rain and grey, and my heating came on the other day. It's not on now, just checking. Unexpectedly, because the temperature's been up and down. So I didn't have my canopy on, which is kind of like a little privacy. It makes it like a secret place. I can just be on my swing, not overlooked or anything. I thought, no, just put the cushion there. It's chill day, just sat on the cushions, read my book. It was good. That was my do nothing day. How about you? What do you do?
Sleep. Oh, I'm a bit turning into my mum, because I've got really into, of an afternoon where I need to sleep, I'll put on A Place in the Sun.
That does do it, doesn't it?
And I'll be like, I'll spend a lot of time going, oh God, you want everything? Oh, because they're always like trying to get a sea view with the tiny budget and stuff, and I get all annoyed.
In the city centre, on the coast, yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm annoyed at you for being able to have a second home in a glamorous location, let alone moan about it. And then sometimes I fall asleep. Well, a lot of the time I fall asleep.
I often do that on a not a do nothing day, not a specific day that I've set aside to just like make sure you do nothing to recharge, but on a gentle kind of day, I do that.
Today I just had to sleep in.
Mm-hmm. But you're also doing something because we're doing this.
We're doing this, but we had to postpone because I was like, and I didn't go back to sleep because I'd slept late anyway. But I knew that it was going to take me ages to just do the normal getting ready, eating business, the life admin. Not even life admin. It's just going about your business. So yeah, just make a real effort to do things slowly. Well, you don't even have to make an effort, do you? Because it's just like the capability is not there. I'm trying to get back into reading, but I do struggle with that now because I just forget what happened on the last page. I agreed to do an online book club thing.
Oh yeah.
It's not started yet.
Okay.
But I'd forgotten that I forget. So I don't know when that happens, if I'll be able to do that, or see how it goes.
It's interesting, isn't it, the forgetting that we forget thing, because I forget that we forget. I forget that I forget. And if you talk to people, like, because we say, how's your week been? I look at my diary just before we start, because I would have no clue otherwise. And if you're in a scenario, you know, when you go to a group and they say, tell us one thing about your week or something. One of the writing exercises that's quite common is to get people to relax, just to free write, is tell us what you had for breakfast. Now I can write about anything for hours on end. Can I remember what I had for breakfast?
No. It's a weird one.
Which is kind of hard to explain to other people.
I did an online improv thing, and it was with a mixed group who'd never done improv before, and we'd done all the like little rules and rules, and then I feel like I made a right idiot of myself because I was like, oh, I've done improv before, and then we do a scene and I do all the things you're not supposed to do in improv because I'd just forgotten. I've not done it very much for the past year, only 2 online things. I've forgotten what to do, and I've forgotten that we're supposed to be doing those things that she's told us just like the other week not to do. And you know where you're like, oh yeah, I've done this, I can do this, and then you just demonstrate not that.
All the wrong things. Yeah.
And then you come away and you're just like, I'm so ashamed. Oh, also what happened, I don't know if I should talk about this because obviously people don't realise, my husband Alex edits this. We had an epic hair cutting fight. We don't fight much in that way, but Alex has been cutting my hair over lockdown and it's done pretty well.
Pretty good job then. Well done, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to have a natural flair for it, but for some reason did it this week and just hacked away at it. It's not this short, like that, but it kind of, and it had gone a bit long, so the curl had fallen out a little bit, and he was like, not with 2 pairs of scissors.
It wasn't Edward Scissorhands or something.
But it felt more fun. That's kind of how it felt. At the end, I got up and saw how much hair had gone. I was like, okay. And then I went to look in the mirror and it was a bit mental. And I just felt slightly upset.
Does your hair grow quickly?
Yeah, it does grow quite quick.
Mine does, yeah.
But I think it was more that, I don't know, I felt that he'd just got a bit cocky and like not thought about it. So it turned into an argument. And there's been no tension around the haircut and it's all been dead good, and you know, we've been here together for the past however long, and during lockdown it's been very okay. But it was a bit of an argument happened. And at one point I was like, oh, just didn't expect you to cut so much. And I was like, it was about 4 inches, and he was saying, oh, it wasn't 4 inches. Do you even know what 4 inches were? At which point I went to the bin, got a piece of hair, measured it with a tape measure, and it was exactly 4 inches. Took him the piece of hair, feeling really smug. Took the piece of hair to him and went, measured this. He went away, came back and was like, I'm really sorry. I feel terrible. I don't know what happened.
It's not just us. It's not just people with MS who have these moments of madness when things are just not quite as you...
Yeah, so he felt awful. And then
well,
I just tied it up for a couple of days and then I washed it and then the curl came back. And although it wasn't perfect, we did a few little adjustments and it was all right.
And it looks brilliant the way you've done it today.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's all put up still, but that's not because of we've gone into our topic just naturally.
We have.
It's not up because of terribleness. It's up because it was a bit wet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate that my hair grows really quickly.
Yeah, I've seen it happen almost.
Yeah, it just. I mean, my fringe that I've had cut about 6-8 weeks ago to here.
That's super quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the issues I have is I find it really hard when you go to the hairdresser to explain what you would like. And because my hair grows so quickly, and because it costs a fortune, I just don't go. I just go a couple of times a year. And then I decided I wanted it short. So I had it cut really, really short. This was about 4 years ago. Yeah, about 18 months before lockdown. So I had it cut a year before lockdown. I had it here, sort of just to the hairline, basically, really short all over. It's fine. And then my hair gets to this point where there's this bit here, this lump here, that grows faster than the rest of it, just goes, and there's suddenly a huge lump of hair. And for a good while, it looks stupid. And you have to wait till the stupid has passed and then it will sit and then it's fine. But during the stupid is when I went back to the hairdresser, the last time I went to the hairdresser. But I was trying to explain what I wanted. and he kind of cut it a lot. I'm just not very good at explaining it. Anyway, my point is, I actually thought, right, I could do with a hair. This is when we were coming out of lockdown this time. I thought, right, I'm going to book a hairdresser's appointment. I won't get one for a while, so I'll work out how to explain it. I sat in bed in the evening, and on my iPad, I looked up shaggy bob style, which is what I keep trying to say that I want. And I'm sure they're the right words. Shaggy bob, long. Shaggy bob. That's what I keep trying to say, and it never seems to come out like that. And I was like, so I found all these pictures. Went to bed. Thought in the morning, I'm going to ring up and I'm going to take this and go, this is what I want. Woke up in the morning before I'd even done anything. I just got out of bed, looked in the mirror, and I went, and I got the picture, and I'd woken up with the hairdo.
It always happens.
I know, but I just woke up with it like that. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. Oh, that's what I've got. I haven't been to the hairdressers yet.
Every time I've booked a hair appointment, it goes good.
It goes perfect. Absolutely. Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. So mine now will do what I want it to do, but it's just this little tiny bit too long, which is why it's pinging up at the ends. And I just want it where my fringe is long and not where my hair is long. What you need to do is do like they do in Hawaii and put a little flower in just to zhuzh it up a bit.
I was going to do a little Hawaiian dance, but I can't remember what.
I used to teach Hawaiian dancing.
Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Luau.
Oh. Put your lay on.
Oh, she got a lay.
Yeah.
She got laid. Sorry.
Not laid, a lay. Yeah. Just to be clear, on screen it's a lay.
Carry on podcast. Sorry.
Yeah. I'd forgotten actually until I just said that just now. I did used to teach South Pacific dancing. So
that's so cool.
A bit of Hawaiian and a bit of from different islands, different styles. Can't think of any off the top of my head now, but I did.
That's proper good. I love a bit of Hawaiian.
Let's see what you're wearing. Where's your Hawaiian? Ah, yeah.
Before we came on,
and
I was just putting a little bit of this liquid blusher on my cheeks to avoid the Zoom ghostage.
Liquid blusher?
Sorry, I put it in my hand before I put it on my cheeks.
It's not like you've got stigmata on your hands that you wipe onto your face.
No. And it's from this little pot. Squirt it. And I didn't notice that it got slightly clogged up. Squirt it. Went everywhere. But you can't tell because it's pink. And so is the patterns on the dress. You can't see it at all.
The forgivingness of the Hawaiian style.
Oh.
Where did you get that dress? Have you worn it to Hawaii?
It was from Primark.
Isla de Primani.
Yeah, but I've worn it a lot over lockdown because oh God, I am turning into just, you can put it in the wash, you don't need to iron, it's dead easy to wear. But we did go to Hawaii on our 10th wedding anniversary.
So how long ago? That was quite recently then, was it?
That was 5 years ago. On our way to Japan where I got shingles. It was that
that trip that was referred to in a previous episode.
Yeah. So we were there for Christmas. It was kind of a bit weird because it was Christmas. It was very beautiful and warm, a bit windy. There was chickens on the beach. This was
a live one.
Kauai, that island. Live chickens, not just little roast chickens.
Well, I only asked because I spent a Christmas on a beach in South America, in Cali, in Colombia, in Cali, And we had roast chicken on the beach because we couldn't find anything sort of Christmassy to eat. We had roast chicken on the beach.
Your own roast chicken?
From the chicken shop.
That sounds beautiful.
It was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, these were live chickens just wandering around.
Brilliant.
They were a bit. It was all very nice, but they kind of were intrusive slightly. We had a bag of crisps and they were after them. I remember that.
Christmas crisps for the chickens.
Christmas crisps.
Christmas crisps for the chickens, yeah.
But on Christmas Day, it was a bit weird because obviously you're in a tropical place on Christmas Day. The apartment that we were renting, you got a little hot tub, but it was almost like in a communal place. It was like a person's home, like Airbnb, but it wasn't Airbnb. But you had a key and it took you to a hot tub.
Okay.
And we went to the hot tub and we'd had a pizza the night before. So for Christmas breakfast, we went to the hot tub with pizza. And in the hot tub, there was a bunch of Mormons.
You've definitely not told this story.
You'd probably remember. A bunch of Mormons. And they were so jealous of our pizza. They were like, oh my God, I was going to do an accent. I'm not going to do the accent. They're like, oh, I can't believe you've got pizza. That's so good. Wish we had pizza. We didn't have enough. You're not having a pizza. I know you guys like to share. Sorry, that feels like it's offensive. But you're not having a pizza. I didn't say that. But there was such a lovely bunch of people, and we had a nice time in the hot tub with Mormons and pizza, and I think we also had some fizzy booze. So not your traditional Christmas.
No, but a memorable one.
Yeah, and then at night we went to, because it wasn't, a massive deal wasn't being made about Christmas, because they're like, we live here, we don't need that shit. We were able to go to a normal, quite fancy restaurant, and it didn't cost what it was here at Christmas. So that was nice, Christmas night. Yeah, but it was a weird experience, the whole thing, being there at Christmas. And it was I believe it was the Jurassic Park island.
Yeah.
We went to a place that was very Jurassic Park. And you could go on a helicopter past that waterfall. But we didn't do that, and I wish we had done that now. But I'd already been scared to death on a helicopter, so I was not up. Yeah. Hawaiian Christmas.
Fabulous. I went to Hawaii a long time ago when I was backpacking. I was 23 or something.
Which island was that?
Oahu. I was traveling with my friend Michael, and we stayed in this hostel, and it was the first place we'd been where male and female were in separate dorms. So we'd been traveling for 9 months, 10 months by this point. And it was the first time we'd gone somewhere and been separated by gender. And I mean, we weren't a couple. It was just, normally like, oh, there's rooms in that bed, or bunks in that room, or, But yeah, so it was really weird. So I was in this dormitory with 3 other girls, yeah. And they were American. And Mike was in a dormitory with some, I don't know who were. Anyway, so we went out one evening we were on the North Shore. Almost had the name of it then. We were on the North Shore of the island, in the famous place on the North Shore. We wanted to go to the town bit, the capital, and go out for the night, to go out for the night. And so we'd gone, and these girls were there as well, so we'd all gone together. And we were at this club, and Mike and I realised that the last transport home left at I don't know, midnight or something like that, not particularly late. So we went back to the hostel, but two of the girls, so three of us went back, two of the girls stayed, missed the last bus, didn't realise there was no way back until like 4 a.m. So stayed in this nightclub because there was nowhere else. They had no money left. They didn't want to be out. They were ready to go to bed, but they were in a nightclub because there was nowhere else to be. And they had to wait till, I think the first transport was like 7:30 a.m. or something like that. So they got chatting to this guy, who's an American guy who was there on business. And he said, just take my car and drive yourselves home. Keep it for the week if you like. And they were like, yeah. You know, no, seriously. I'm staying in this hotel, which was like next to the club or above the club. He said, my company hires me a car every time. I never use it. Take it. And they were like, well, you know, not really sure about this. But he said, no, take it. So they did.
And all the drugs were in it.
They drove back to the hostel, woke up early in the morning and was telling us, we've got this car, but we don't know what to do. So they had his business, he'd given them his business card. So they rang and got put through to him at his hotel and said, look, don't panic, your car's not lost. We haven't stolen it. Last night you insisted that we take it, but we can bring it back to you now. And he went, no, seriously, I mean it. Keep it for the week. So we ended up, because 5 of us, all piling in this quite fancy, it wasn't a bottom of the range car, quite fancy hire car.
Oh my God.
Cruising around places in Hawaii and going anywhere that had valet parking, because none of us had ever done that before. Just like handing the keys over to wasn't our vehicle, but just handing the keys over to this vehicle, and then like swanning into places, and then like swanning out and going to the cheap place next door, and then swanning back in and bring your car back. But you know, for backpackers that were on this tiny budget and we were like eking all our money out, it was just amazing. I think it might have been a bluebird. I can't remember. But what I do remember is it had these seatbelts that put themselves on automatically. So like you sat down in the driver's seat or the passenger seat, and the seatbelt automatically came like 3/4 across you. You're like, whoo! It was really freaky. Really freaky.
So you guys had Christmas in Hawaii also?
It was Christmas. It wasn't Christmas time, but we had it was just like Christmas. Somebody gave us a car, gave 5 backpackers a car. So yeah, we saw quite a lot of the island that we probably wouldn't have got to see, really.
Yeah, that's really good. Oh my God.
It was the most bizarre thing though. Waking up in the morning and these 2 girls like, we were really, really worried. Like, what? We've got a car. Like,
oh no, they've nicked a car.
where did you get the car from? Story, but yeah. So yeah, it worked out really well. Yeah.
Oh, it did. Oh, things like that are amazing, aren't they? Like,
I know. Now I was just going to mention, you know, the flower behind the ear, which is it's very much a South Pacific Islander thing. A lot of the peoples of the islands will pick like a hibiscus or a single flower and pop it behind their ear, men and women. It's just a thing that people do. But I did a writing workshop with some children, multilingual children, and there was one girl who was from Romania, and she was saying that there's a phrase in Romanian, a flower behind the ear, which I just thought was a really lovely little phrase, and it just means, you know, something that's just really easy and really simple. Oh, that's just a flower behind the ear.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a really nice phrase. Yeah.
Simple and easy, but makes a lot of a difference.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, to be on a Hawaiian island right now.
Yeah, or any Pacific island. I'm not that picky right at this moment.
I'd pretty much go anywhere right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be right up there. But I'd even go somewhere like a big room, maybe. I don't know, just change the scenery.
Soon the world will be open.
Fingers crossed. So, I think we've covered Hawaiian hair to the best of our abilities. I think, no, I can't still. Oh, that's it. Yeah, you've got to have that in it.
Yeah.
Me just going like that, it's not It's not it, is
Quite
it?
the same, no.
I think that's it for Hawaiian Hair. Thank you for watching. I've been Jeanette.
I've been Lytisha.